Okay, today we continue with our class Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We start with, one second, with Sefer Shmiras Haloshon. And our topic today is sin breeds sin. Okay, so, and it says, as mentioned above, the way to rid oneself of negativity is to ponder its ill effects. Okay. Such as attitude makes it impossible to fulfill one commandment. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Right? When a person is always negative. Okay, it says Vayikra 19:18. Usually this trait leads to sinat chinam. Sinat chinam, meaning baseless hatred. Could you please put us on mute? Please put us on mute. Thank you. Which is the transgression of the commandment, you shall not hate your brother in your heart. Okay. Baseless hatred was one of the sins which brought about the destruction of the second temple. It says in Talmud Yom Torah 2b. So let's try to understand. Actually, no, let's finish. There is one more sentence. Moreover, the Talmud states that because of baseless hatred, strife abounds in one's home. The tragedies may befall him. Okay, so it's all right. So let's try to understand what it says here. So first of all, it says that a person has to do whatever is possible, right? And many things are possible, of course, to get rid of himself or herself of negativity, right? And why the negativity comes about, right? Most likely it's because of the people. So a person thinks why somebody is doing this to me, like why he's not this or she's not that. So that's the negativity, right? He is right away. A person cancel out the mitzvah that you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Meaning, don't suspect everybody around you in their wishes and they wanna hurt you. Right? That's not the right approach in life, and brings only depression to you, not to them. They don't even know what you're thinking about, right? And then, as a result of that, it's going to bring to baseless hatred. So the thing, this expression, baseless hatred, is many times misinterpreted, meaning that there is no reason to hate somebody and we hate, which is not true. That's not what baseless hatred is. It is. The baseless hatred is that there is a reason, right? There is a reason to not to like that person, but it's not a good reason. Okay, that's not a good reason to hate that person. You understand? Okay. And when he does so he transgresses another commandment, you shall not hate your brother in your heart. So it says clearly that it's one of the 613 mitzvahs not to hate somebody in the heart. We don't say about openly. Maybe they smile to each other, they greet each other, they even go to visit each other. But in his heart, this person hates another person. That's very bad, right? It's not only very bad; it's one of the transgressions. And as we know, so it's very soon on this Sunday we're going to sit on the floor and cry about destruction of Beis Hamikdash. It's was one of the reasons that people hate each other. Okay. So continue. This trait also leads to transgression of with righteousness you shall judge your fellow. Vayikra 19:15. So meaning which the sages understand as a requirement to grant one's fellow benefit of the doubt. Sanhedrin 34b. Sefer Haredim 66:39 writes that one who judges his fellow critically becomes attached to one of his spiritual forces of impurity. One more time, writes that one who judges his fellow critically becomes attached to one of the spiritual forces of impurity. So, about judging one's fellow favorably, right? There are three categories of people. So one category of people is a righteous person, right? You know that he's righteous. Everybody knows that he's righteous. So you're not allowed to judge him negatively, even when you saw with your own eyes. It's not like somebody told you saw with your own eyes that he did something wrong. So first of all, you must know that most likely, okay, even this righteous person has a Yetzer Hara. Even he did, let's say he did something wrong. Don't worry, he's going to do Teshuvah until by the morning. So in the morning when you see him again, and you try to speak negatively about this person, guess what? You're going to be speaking negatively about righteous person, because after a person, as we learn in our class Hilchos Teshuvah, after a person does Teshuvah, he reverses his status from wicked to righteous again. So so you now is speaking Motzi Shemra, so it's like slander. You slander righteous person. So absolutely not allowed to speak negatively about righteous people that they have a kosher status. About the person who is 50-50, right? Sometimes everybody knows it's clearly that he does some things. So you have to, if possible, give him a benefit of the doubt. But if you see there is no such a thing, like for example, somebody's your neighbor doing a barbecue, right? Barbecue. So you said, is anybody dying? No, we're talking about Shabbos, right? Anybody dying? Like, why were you doing barbecue? He said, no, I just hungry. I want to have some fresh meat. So for sure there is no benefit of the doubt. So you're not obligated to give him a benefit of the doubt. But otherwise, we should give a person who is 50-50, right? Observant, sometimes yes, sometimes unfortunately not. So you're obligated to try to give him benefit of the doubt if possible. If not possible, you're not obligated. And the third category of people is who is known sinner. So you're not allowed to give him benefit of not allowed. So even if it looks like that he doing something right, so you have to say that's for sure wrong. Right, so you're not obligated to give him a benefit of the doubt. But of course, we're not trying even if you speak negatively about this person, and it is permissible to speak negatively about this person, what is going to bring him or you? Nothing. Is it going to help him? No. Right, so it's better to go and help him than talk negatively. And plus, as Chafetz Chaim said, even when you talk about these people who you're allowed to talk to, meaning negative speech, it can bring you to one thing brings another, that you're going to speak badly about righteous people. So don't get habituated. Okay, continue. Judging others hypocritically causes one to suspect the innocent of wrongdoing. Okay, our sages say one who suspects the innocent is afflicted physically. Shabbos 97a. So inevitably he will also transgress the sin of causing hurt through words, embarrassing one fellow, and causing strife, whose punishment is particularly severe. Thus, one who seeks life that is good, both in this world and in the next world, should distance oneself from the terrible trait. So, as we learned in Chafetz Chaim, many times, even if you're allowed to speak negatively, it should be only for constructive purpose. And constructive purpose is only when you're trying to help that person, or right. So you're talking negatively for his benefit. You discuss, for example, with his rabbi, with your rabbi, how to approach the situation, how to help that person. So you need to give them details so this rabbi would have the full picture. Okay, one thing. Or a second is you're trying to prevent this person from doing damage to somebody else, right? So that's for constructive purpose. Otherwise, what is the point? Okay, he's Rasha, so what is the point? Why don't you open Torah and learn, right? Okay, so let's stop here. Any questions on what we said? Okay. Very interesting. So very, very, very interesting. So we are on Sif number 40. So Sif number 40 and Siman number 13. So Siman is like a law, right? And Siv is like sub law under this category. Okay. So our topic is laws of washing hands for a meal. Okay. So let's see number 13, and we're going to explain. The water of Netilas Yadayim must come into the hands as a result of human force. Okay. But if the water comes by itself, it is not valid washing for Netilas Yadayim. A barrel that has a plug, and one removes the plug, thus releasing the water in a barrel. Then the water comes forth from the first fourth, right? That is the first stream of water only. Is considered to have come from a human force. But the water that flows out after this is not considered to have come from a human force. Rather, it is considered as it comes by itself. Therefore, one who wishes to wash his hands by way of removing the plug from the barrel of water must know for sure that first stream of water the entire hands must be covered. The entire hands must be covered. After the first stream, he should close the hole with a plug and open it again for a second pouring of water, or second pouring on the hand. One who cannot figure the amount of water that will flow in this way should wash his hands Netilas Yadayim using this method. Okay. Certainly, one should not wash his hands from the basin that has a small plug. Okay, very interesting. As when it is removed, the stream of water will be narrow and unable to cover the hand. Okay, so that's the whole halacha, and it's we're going to explain how does it apply to us today. The proper way, as we learned before, is to wash with a cup, right? So the best way, cup that has two handles. You pour on the right hand, you pour on the left hand, and you're good, right? But here, person does not have this cup, does not have, looks like any utensil, and he has a barrel, and there is a plug. So they say, the commentators say plug or plug or a spigot placed in a hole of the barrel. So like on a side, right? So basically because of the pressure or the liquid, let's say water, right? Let's talk about water. The water that is above the plug, you take out the plug, the water is going to come out. So when you remove the plug, it means that you caused this water to come out, right? Meaning it came by your force, not that it was a stream and you put your hands in there. Okay, so that is good. That's exactly what we need, right? That it says that this water came from a human force, which is very good. But he said so. After you remove the plug, if you leave it like that. That's it. It's not considered the next stream is not considered to be the water that comes by human force, but it comes by itself, right? So that's why we said in one of the classes when you wash your hands for bread, let's say on Shabbos, or whenever you wash, that doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be on Shabbos. So you can open the faucet, right? I show with the left hand. So one time you close, 2 times you close, but when you open the faucet, try to open right away on a full force, right? So then the whole hand is going to get covered with a first stream. That's very, very important, right? Because otherwise, like half or part of it is going to come from the stream that caused by my force, and the rest is going to come by itself, which is a problem. So it's not proper washing. So a person, in the case of the need, only after the fact, Only when you don't have any other options, you don't have any other vessels. As we learned before, you can take any vessel. You can put a pot, you can put a frying pan, I don't know, whatever vessel you have. Flour vase, almost any vessel you can take, right, to wash your hands. But if you don't have any of this, so this this idea with a barrel and a plug should work. But every time you have to close the plug, or as we said in our case, of course we don't have these barrels, but we have this the faucet. Should work exactly the same. Just 1 second. Okay, so and with every time I just read the commentary. A person must make sure that the whole hand is covered with water. Okay, so the whole hand meaning up to the wrist. That's how we wash water. We wash hands before the bread, and in general, that's preferred custom. Okay, just 1 second. So, but let's read the last the ending of this halacha, and we're going to explain it. If one cannot figure the amount of water that will flow in this way, one should wash his hands. Netilas Yadayim. One should not wash his hands of Netilas Yadayim in this method. So I would say, I'm not sure why would somebody not sure, just try, like test it. I mean, that's what we do. You test and see how much water. If it's not water, enough water or not enough water. Okay. So before, okay. Anyway, we say blessing after that, right? So I mean, just get ready and see how much water is going to come out, right? And the last sentence says, very interesting. Certainly, one should not wash the hands from a basin, right? That has a small plug. Okay, so a small plug is not going to work. Same as a bottle is not going to work, right? And when it is removed, the stream of water will be narrow and unable to cover the whole hand. So that's why bottles cannot be used unless you have like special bottle and you have like the very wide opening. So that's in this case it would work. So commentary 59, the Mishnah Berurah 159:64, 162:30, right? That if there is no other vessel is available, he may use this one by opening and closing the plug or spigot in a quick succession, enough times that every part of the hand is covered by water that comes out of the stream, come out in the first stream after opens the plug of spigot. So very, very interesting, right? Mishnah Berurah says, okay, so you have only small opening in this barrel, so it's not enough, or you have like a spigot in the barrel. So he said, okay, maybe from one time not a lot of water is going to come out, but if you put like several times in succession, you open, you close, you open and close, so it would be like considered like you pour in. It's not one in one. Not one washing, but you can do more than one basically in order to cover the whole hands. I mean, because there is no other way. As we said, we're talking about case when there is no utensil, period. Okay. So we finish number 13. So let's go to number 14. It is forbidden to eat bread without washing Netilas Yadayim, even if one wishes to wrap his hands in a cloth so that they do not touch the food. If he is traveling and he has no water, if he knows that in another 4 meal or less along the route that lies ahead of him, or up to a meal behind him, that is out of his way, he would find water, then he is obligated to go 4 meal ahead of him, or to turn back and go a meal behind him, or in order to wash his hands for eating. Okay, So let's try to understand before. Let me see how long is halacha. Let's finish. However, it's very short. However, if he will not find water there either, or if he is traveling with a group and he is afraid to be separated from them, for example, due to the danger involved in traveling alone, as well as one who is subject to any other unavoidable circumstance, the result of which is that he cannot wash his hands, then he should wrap his hands in a cloth, or he should wear gloves and eat that way without touching the food. Okay, so there are a lot of commentaries, and it's very interesting halacha. It's one of the halacha that many people misinterpret freely. Okay, so let's try to understand what Kitzur says here. Okay, so let's do from the beginning with all the commentaries and explanations. It is forbidden to eat bread without washing Netilas Yadayim, even if one wishes to wrap his hands in a cloth so that they do not touch the food. So even though the person say, let's say, right, person said, look, I'm not going to touch the bread, I'm going to eat bread with a fork and a knife, right? I'm not going to touch, I don't want to touch. So the piece of bread is in my plate. I'm going to cut a piece of bread, dip it in salt, and eat it. So what is the problem? So we say absolutely not. You're not allowed. So one of the explanations that I remember reading is that's not normal way. That's not how people eat bread. And in the middle of the meal, he's going to forget, and he's going to touch the bread with his hand. Okay. So they say, and if you think that you don't count on wrapping your hands with a cloth. Okay. So if he's traveling and he has no water, if he knows, so okay. So today, so I'm going to interject like what today. Like if you have a car, right? Let's say you travel in a car. Why don't you have a water? Like we always have. If you know that we're going to it, take a gallon of water with you. That's it. I mean, tap water. Let it be in your car, right? So and you can have a cup or like plastic or whatever. You can wash your hands. So why should you care about the bread but do not care about the Netilas Yadayim? I'm not sure why would somebody today. I mean, I'm talking about today. Why would somebody not find the water, right? Or even if you go somewhere and there is water, right? I don't know, lake or something. So you can have a cup with you. You can always wash your hands. I'm not sure why, but okay. In olden days, it was much harder. Of course, people walked, so it was very common not to have water, right? So okay. So let's see. So if he travels and he has no water, right? If he knows that in another 4 mil or less along the route lies ahead of him. So if he knows that 4 mil, how much is a 4 mil? So a mil is 2,000 amos, approximately 0.6 or 0.7 miles, 0.96 kilometer to 1.15 kilometer. And it takes 18 minutes to walk 1 mil. Okay, 72 minutes to walk 4 mils. According to Pierre Halacha 163.1, one who is traveling by train or in our times by car must travel the time that it takes to walk 4 mil. So it's very straightforward. So you're going, I don't know, wherever on this road, right? Or you travel on this road. So and there is no water, so you obligated. As I say, if it's on your way, so meaning you're not going out of the way, you're just going to continue a little longer. So up to how long? They say up to 72 minutes. Up to 72 minutes on your way. So right. Or if it's if you have to return, so let's say there is gas station or whatever, like service station like behind you. So you're obligated to go back only 1 mil, right? Or in left, right. So it's since it's out of your way. So our sages did not want to burden people too much. So let's say 0.6, 0.7 mile. Okay. But if it's on your way, they say 4 miles. Meals, 4 meals. I'm sorry, not miles, meals. 4 meals, which is 72 minutes. Or going back or going left or right, out of your way, 18 minutes. Okay, so that's the definition. Okay, so we explain all this. Okay. So they explain behind him. Behind him, it's any direction. It's not exactly left, not exactly right. It's out of you, out of his way, right? So if it's out of his way, and then he would have to return and go. But this 1 mil, it's one way. So technically, the 1 mil this way and 1 mil to return. So it's 0.6 miles one way and 0.6 miles coming back. Okay. So 62, continue. So okay, there's out of his way. If he would find water, then he is obligated to go 4 mils ahead of him. So if there is no left, no right, so he has to continue, as we said, 4 mil, or turn back and go 1 mil behind him in order to wash hands before eating. So I mean, just from this, all the details that the Torah tells us that you have to go out of the way. So from only from this you can understand how important it is to wash your hands before the meal, right? So it's very, very important to wash your hands. Okay, commentary. If he is unsure whether he will find water, even after traveling this distance, and is very hungry, he need not wait. Mishnah Berurah 163.3, Biur Halacha 163.1. Okay, so basically we have a Mishnah Berurah, the holy Chafetz Chaim, to rely. So he said, if you're not sure that there is water in there, so for example, if you have a road sign, right, it says a gas station this way, or like a supermarket, or whatever, this way, so you can go this way. Or you have I don't know, lake, or you see in the map, right? Everybody have GPS today on their phone. So you see there is a stream, there is a lake, right? There is some kind of park, not too far from you. So okay, so you can go there and wash your hands. Okay, continue. But the person absolutely always must be like prepared for all this. I mean, if you prepare bread for you, like you planning, like everybody when they're taking a road trip or they go somewhere, so they're planning that they're going to have a meal somewhere and what they're going to eat. Like if there is no kosher places along the way, so you have to bring your own food. Like I always bring my own food. But okay, so if I prepare the bread. Let's say I'm making sandwiches, so of course I'm going to take water with me, like enough for everybody to wash their hands. It's like normal. Okay. So continue. However, if you'll not find water there either, or if he's traveling with a group and he's afraid to separate from them, or like let's say you're on a bus, right? You're going from one city to another, right? So of course you're not going to travel anywhere. The bus is going to leave. What are you going to do, right? So due to the danger involved traveling alone, right? So or it's simply danger. So you're going there with a group. With a group, it's not as dangerous, but alone is very dangerous. Let's say. As well as one who is subject to any other unavoidable circumstance, as a result of which it is that he cannot wash his hands. So, of course, as we said, it's better to prepare. If he cannot prepare, that's a different story. Okay, then he should wrap his hands in a cloth, or should wear gloves. And eat that way without touching the food. Okay, so that's the last resort. But before this gloves or wrapping the hands, like in a cloth, or maybe today I would say maybe like plastic bags, like shopping bags, would be something like easily accessible. Commentary: the Berurah Halacha cites Ritva, who said that one should not rely on this opinion, exactly, even when he is will sort and not find water within the above distances, unless it is great necessity for him to eat. For example, he's weak on a busy journey. So, okay. So Ritva said, great sage. So don't agree right away to wrap your hands in the cloth or wear gloves. Right? Try to do everything possible to get the water. Okay, so continue. Now, let me know if any questions. Go ahead.
Yes, Rab.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so we do Yadayim, to do washing the hands, like for say for Shabbos, before we eat bread and stuff like that. Would we wash the hands with soap before or after?
Before, I would say before. And it's I always thank you very much for bringing it up. I mean, in my house, like the whole family, that's what we do. I mean, I was outside, I touched all of these door handles and rails and everything, right, on the outside. So you have to wash your hands with the soap, and then so it's a physical cleansing, and then this with a cup you do a spiritual cleansing. Two separate things. So just because we must understand, if I wash my hands with soap for 15 minutes with hot water, they still not me but anybody, right? They still spiritually impure. So only this water that comes from a human force can remove this impurity, not the water like any amount of water that comes from by itself. You understand? So that's the thing. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
But we wash hands every time when we want to eat bread. It's not only on Shabbos, like every time. So I mean, me personally, I'm trying to eat bread minimum one time a day, sometimes twice. So I mean, because of the many reasons. But first of all, it's very healthy. Not to overeat bread, but it's Talmud says if you eat bread, especially in the morning, so it saves you from 98 diseases or curses. So that's one of the reasons. But another reason is to thank HaShem. It's another opportunity to have this special 4 times to say thank you. When you say Birchas Hamazon and say extra blessing on the washing of the hands, you show to Hashem that He's always on your mind, not like these people who is looking for a pizza that somebody told them that it's mizoinous and you don't have to wash your hands, which is stupidity, but it's a different story. You understand that? So we wash hands every time. Even for example, my wife she baked a new bread today. She tested new bread, so she asked me to try. So I did not want to eat. It was after my lunch. So I washed my hands and I cut the piece less than kizais, less than 28 grams, right? For sure, it was less. So I washed my hands without blessing, right? Without blessing. I said the blessing on the bread, of course. It doesn't matter how much you eat. You have to say blessing before. And then I did not say any blessing after because I did not eat enough. You understand? So I did already ate and I did Birchat Hamazon maybe 30 minutes before that, and now she baked new bread. Okay, so it was only for to sample, not to eat. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, no problem. So if somebody wants to write a question, they can write, and maybe Joshua help us, and he's going to read out, because I cannot see, it's a small screen. Okay, so no problem. So continue. Halacha number 15. One who relieves himself before eating. So that's the very, very famous, not famous, it's very, very important halacha. Right, very important. So first of all, before eating, we learn before, right? Before it's like saying any blessings, before praying Shmona Esrei, especially before saying Shema and other things. So a person must make sure that he does not want to go to the bathroom. Because why? Because if he wants to go to the bathroom, and he said, okay, whatever, I'm going to pray Shmona Esrei, I'm going to pray and then go, let's say, right? He said or she said that. So this prayer is not going to be not only not accepted, this prayer, as our sages say, it's going to be abomination, as he was just served idol. No more, no less. That's how important to make sure that you don't want to go to the bathroom before your meal, for example, right? So many times a person would go to the bathroom, right, and he would wash the hands after the bathroom. So say blessing, kasher yotzer, okay, after the bathroom, and now he wants to go and wash his hands again. So the question arises, if he's allowed to say the blessing on the washing of the hands. Why? Because what did you just accomplish? You accomplished exactly zero. Right, because you just wash your hands after the bathroom, so your hands are spiritually pure, right? And now you said the blessing that you just purify your hands. It's not true. So that's a very common situation, and many people do not know what to do. So let's see how we're going to become experts. Let's see. Halacha number 15. One who relieves himself before eating, so that he must now wash his hands before reciting Asher Yotzer blessing. So it's blessing after the restroom. Right? Okay. So the translation, who fashioned person with all these openings, right? So Asher Yotzer. And he must also wash his hands for the meal. There are many halachic doubts regarding the blessing upon the washing, where he to wash only once or both obligations. Okay, so that's exactly the issue as we described, but let's see what commentaries say. The obligation to recite Ya Asher Yotzer blessing begins immediately upon washing, after relieving oneself. However, when washing for a meal, one must not interrupt between the washing and reciting the blessing Al Netilas Yadayim. Nor should one interrupt between the washing and eating the bread. This would seem to preclude the reciting Asher Yotzer blessing until after eating some of the bread. However, it is better not to wait as long for the time from the time he washes his hands to recite Asher Yotzer. Therefore, were he to wash his hands only once, he would be placing himself in halachic untenable position. Mishnah Berurah 165:2. Okay, see next note. So let's read this note one more time, and I'm going to explain each line because there are a few more complications in this situation. Right, so let's read one more time and we're going to explain. The obligation to recite Asher Yotzer blessing begins immediately upon washing, after relieving oneself. So right after, like we went to the bathroom and we're going out, we wash our hands, we must say blessing right then. Right? Technically, you have more time to say the blessing. It's not proper, but technically you can. How long time you have? So we learn up to the next time you need to go to the bathroom. So what time is it? I mean, it depends on the person. So for one person who goes more often to the bathroom, it's maybe like half an hour. So he has this half an hour to say the blessing. So once he feels the urge to go to the bathroom again, that's it. So you cannot say this Asher Yotzer after the bathroom blessing for the first time, for a previous time. That's it. The opportunity is gone, right? So another person goes to the bathroom once every hour, right? So he has a 1 hour, up to 1 hour to say the blessing, right? So, but the absolutely proper way, as we learned many times, and the author has stressed many times in the text and the commentary, that it is proper not to leave the place until after you say after blessing. So don't go anywhere. Don't say I'm going to have time. Let me check my emails. Let me check this and that. So say after blessing and then do whatever you need to do, right? So person is so what is trying to say? Maybe with one washing, he can accomplish two things, right? He washed, meaning purify his hands. Maybe he can say the blessing after that, as we just explained. There is no problem, right? Like even afterwards, but there is no problem. Not afterwards, even after the fact. After the fact, there is no problem to say this blessing after the restroom, like let's say 5 minutes later. Let's say, right? But they say it's not proper. So what they're trying to say? So maybe if he wash right after the bathroom, so we can use this washing. We can use this washing for Netilas Yadayim also. Do only one washing for two events: for visiting the bathroom and for Netilas Yadayim. You understand? So they say, okay, if you're going to wash your hands, right, and then say the blessing only for Netilas Yadayim, so you postponing the blessing Asher Yotzer, right? But if you say you wash your hands, you say Asher Yotzer, and then you say Al Netilas Yadayim, because it's the same event, so that there is interruption. It's interruption between washing and of the hands and saying the blessing. What is interruption? The blessing after the bathroom. So they say, okay, so that's a very interesting situation. So let's read it again and see if I missed anything. Okay. However, when washing for the meal, one may not interrupt between the washing and recite the blessing Al Netilas Yadayim. So as we said, usually we say blessing before the action, usually in most of the cases, but there are some exceptions, and washing of the hands before the meal is one of them, right? So first we do action and then we do blessing. Okay. So, but for example, if we interrupt it, if we for example, if I want to eat apple, right, I say Berurah Chayitz, right, on the apple, and then the phone rang. I don't want to say about myself. I try never ever do that. But let's say somebody else, right? So he said the blessing on the apple. The phone rang and say 1 second, put the phone and start eating apples. So this blessing is not going to count. So he must say a different blessing because it was interruption between the blessing and the action, meaning eating of this apple, which is a problem, right? So that's what they say here. So you say, and here is a little different. So you say first you do the action washing of the hands, and then you say the blessing. So if in between you say the Asher Yotzer, meaning the blessing after the rest, so there is a problem. So you cannot say the blessing Al Netilas Yadayim because it's interruption, right? And say nor you should interrupt between the washing of the hands and eating bread. So an opposite is also true. Not opposite, different case scenario is also true. So if you try to switch events, so you wash your hands, right? You say Al Netilas Yadayim. Okay, there is no interruption. And then after that, you say Asher Yotzer, blessing after the rest, and then you go to eat bread. So again, between the blessing on washing of the hands and the actions of eating bread, so there is interruption, also not proper. And this would seem to preclude the reciting of the Asher Yotzer blessing until after eating some of the bread. So, I mean, the only solution in this, I mean, like, if we choose to go by this scenario, so go wash your hands only once, right? Don't do anything. Say Al Netilas Yadayim, right? Eat, go there, do hamotzi, make the blessing on the bread, eat some bread, so swallow, I don't know, the minimal amount, whatever, one bite, right? Chew it, swallow it, and then you can say Asher Yotzer, right? And then you can say blessing after the restroom. However, it is better not to wait so long from the time washing of the hands and to recite Asher Yotzer. As we said before, so the proper way, the most straightforward way to say the blessing right away. Therefore, were he to wash his hands only once, he would be placing himself halachic unattainable position. So, as we said, he's wrong from in one thing. So there is no clear-cut way in this situation to go according to all of the requirements. Okay. Therefore, of course, there is a solution. So therefore, the appropriate procedure is to wash one's hands first in a way that is not according to the halachas of Netilas Yadayim for a meal. Okay, that is, he should pour only a bit of water into one of on his cupped hands, right, and rub the two hands together with the water. Okay, so he should then dry them well and recite Asher Yotzer blessing, and then wash his hands again in accordance with halach of Netilas Yadayim for a meal, and then recite the blessing of Netilas Yadayim. Okay, so we're going to see if they're going to propose different solution, but okay. Okay, so let's stop here and try to understand what Kitzur is saying here. Okay, so one solution that he offers is to wash our hands after the bathroom in incomplete way. So when you wash in incomplete way, it means that you would have to wash for the bread like separately. Okay, so what is the incomplete way? So he pours water in his cup hands, right? He keeps his hands like this. He pours water, like, I mean, there is some water, and then he washes his hand like this. So in some sense, he cleansed. Like after the fact, it is enough to say the Asher Yotzer blessing, right? But it's not enough. Of course, it's not enough to say Al Netilas Yadayim, because the proper way, as we learned, proper way to pour revi'is on each hand every time. So what is revi'is? We say revi'is is a 3.1 ounces, or in grams it's 86 grams approximately, right? Approximate. So on one hand and on another hand. So it's minimum. That's what they require. Actually, the minimum is this 3.1 ounce. Like if he going to wash two hands together simultaneously, so technically it's enough. So that's okay. But in this case, in the cup hands, you cannot hold 3 ounces, for sure not. That's too much for you to hold. So they say for Asher Yotzer it's enough, but for washing of the hands it's not enough. So commentary. See above CF2, which states that that is the manner of washing is involved for Netilas Yadayim for a meal. Okay, because it must come from the vessel, right? One first washes his hands in this manner, for if he were to wash it in a manner that would satisfy obligation Netilas Yadayim for a meal, even if his intention when washing for the first time was not for Netilas Yadayim, he would not be permitted to recite the blessing Al Netilas Yadayim when washing of the hands of his hands that are known to be ritually pure, immediately afterwards. Okay, so let's try to understand. So they say that's the only way. I mean, it's not the only way, but we're going to offer something else. But let's say, right? he wants to follow this opinion. Or let's say if he wants to wash with completely, like with properly wash his hands, so he can do it, but he would not be able to say only Yadayim. Okay. Because why? Because he wants to say Asher Yotzer before the blessing on the restroom, after the restroom, and then Al Yadayim he cannot say. Why? Because hands are clean. Even if he washes them second time, it's not of no avail because they're clean. Right? If they cleanse, they cleansed. Okay, so that's the thing. So, but if he goes with the cup hands and then wash two hands together, so it's not it's good for Asher Yotzer, but not good for washing for the bread. So after that, he must dry it like completely dry and wash again. Okay. So there is a second solution that it's not in this book, but it's very, very practical. So you can make you can put yourself in a situation when your hands are not clean, right? So your hands are not clean spiritually, of course, after the bathroom, and you would be required to wash your hands again. So what is the situation? So if you touch your shoes, for example, you were without shoes and you were in your slippers, and now you want to go and put on your shoes. So now after touching the shoes, you must wash your hands. For sure, they're spiritually impure. Or you scratch yourself, right? You scratch yourself under the kippah. When the kippah you usually cover, you scratch scalp, not the hair. If you just try to touch the hair, does not count. Or you touch some place when it's usually covered, something like under your shirt, somewhere, right? So okay, so in this case, your hands became spiritually impure, and you must wash them. So you say blessing until last Yadayim. Okay. So that's the simple solution, which is, as you understand, so it's not such a simple situation. Okay. Any questions on what we said? We'll continue.
I got one.
Yes. Go ahead.
So, like me, I travel a lot for my job, so I'm on the road 85% of the time.
Whoa.
So, yeah. Somebody's asking, is it okay to speak? I didn't catch the message. If they want to put it up again, I'll read it again.
No, it should be on a board, no?
No. Is it okay to speak between Kiddush and Netilat? I guess before breaking bread.
Okay. That's so. Let me quickly. I remember the question. You're first, so you ask and then I answer that question. Go ahead.
It's okay. Go ahead and answer. You can answer that question. It's okay.
Okay. No problem. So here's the thing. So we do the Kiddush, and it says that properly to eat right away. When? Right away. And it's proper not to talk at all. So if it's concerning the meal, or who is going to sit where, for example, or bring salt to the table, that's one thing. But all other things, like it's very improper. And I know some people, they sit down, they chit chat, they wait for guests like half an hour, this and that. So it's not proper, and I'm going to explain why. You're not allowed to eat, right? I'm doing it Friday night, Shabbos morning, until you make a Kiddush. So what does it mean? That Kiddush connects directly to the meal. You understand? So if you're not planning to eat now, so don't make Kiddush. So wait until you're ready to eat. So it's not proper to delay, but if necessary, so a person can delay, and it's one more time, it's not proper. But if they talk, there is no problem. But we try not to talk. So, I mean, it's better like be organized. And people, believe it or not, so some people who are very not organized, and they say 100%, 100 times in our house they're not organized. But when they learn our way, so they become organized, and they are grateful. I mean, it helped them in their life to arrange their life, to be organized. I mean, it's very good quality. So you have more time, you have more time to do things. In a sense, so one more time, answer to a question. It's not proper, but after the fact, there is no problem. Only after the fact. Okay, go ahead. So next question. So you travel 85% of your time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can I add to that question they just asked? So as soon as as soon as like me, for Shabbat, like as soon as we're done washing the hands, would I immediately go back to the table and say the blessing over the bread?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the proper way. So what we're waiting for? Everybody washes their hands. So I mean, it depends how many people are there sometimes. So if you have many people and there is small room, right? Everybody have to wash in the same sink. Take some time. So you have right away. You have 5 minutes to 6 minutes to wait. So don't waste the time, right? So you wash, you sit down, you wait until the head of the family say the blessing. He gives distribute everybody a piece of bread, and that's it. You eat, and after that, talk as much as you want. Hopefully not Haloshon Horror, but yes. So talk Torah. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So for my job, I'm out on the road 85 to 90% of the time. So when I have to pull over and use the restroom, go and then say the Asher Yetzah, and then can I come back to my vehicle, to my truck, because I carry a cup and gallons of water, so I can do Yadayim in the mornings and stuff, and before I eat my meals to do washing the hands before if I bring bread or what have you. So would that be something that I continue to do, or because I don't want to do it?
Okay. So
I don't want to do that there in the bathroom where everybody goes. And
No. Okay. So that's let's go step by step. Let's answer your question in parts. So first of all, it's not proper, especially for the bread, to eat. I know it's not your question. So especially for the bread to wash your hands in the bathroom. If you don't have any other choice, there is no room. It's too far to go to the other sink. Okay, after the fact, there is no problem. Of course, you say the blessing when you go outside. You take your towel, you go outside of the bathroom. There is no blessing in the bathroom, of course, as you know. But for the blessing after the bathroom, for the washing after the bathroom, if it's possible for you not to wash in the bathroom, it would be the best. If not, okay, you can wash there. Take with yourself some towels, paper towels, or you have whatever you have, right? And say the blessing outside, of course. You understand? So what I have a student, so he's also traveling, Baruch HaShem, a lot. He inspecting sites, whatever he does, working for the city. So I told him there is this gallon is very tough, what is it, Arizona iced tea, if you know what I mean. It's very, very, very sturdy, container, and that's what he has. And he has a cup in his with two handles in his car, because he eats outside almost almost always. So of course all of these places where he travels not kosher, but there is picnic table or something, right? So many times, not always, or some park, let's say a city park or something, where there are benches and tables. So he takes his own water, put it in a cup, right? Comes to the place where he's going to eat, prepare the bread, go wash under the tree, so nobody would complain. So you you water in the tree. There is no problem. Like say the blessing, wipe your hands dry, and that's it. So that's what we do. So, but one more time, if you stop, let's say you're on a rest area, and you want to first use the bathroom, as we said, it is proper. It is proper to use the bathroom, right? So what do we do? So you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands after the bathroom the way we described, and when you say the blessing after, when you wash your hands, keep in mind that this washing I don't want to apply to my washing of the Netilas Yadayim, right? Or for bread. Then you go out, you fix your shoe, you retie your shoelace. Let's say, I mean, I know I have to fix my shoelaces from time to time. They tend to untie. So you fix your shoelace, no problem. Your hands are impure again, and you have to rewash. You wash it from your gallon that you have in your car, let's say, and that's it. You're golden. You understand? That's what my student was doing for several years now, and that's it. So he does not rely on that there is going to be water there, that he's going to even in parks, like in city parks, right, when he stops. So sometimes the bathroom is closed. Okay, you understand? But he has water with him, so it's proper to have always water in this situation with you. That's it. And like people go to the cemeteries. Same thing with the cemetery. When we come out of the cemetery, we have to wash our hands. I said like we wash after the bathroom because of spiritual impurity. So many people if it's after the funeral, they have one cup and there's 60 people standing like you normal. It's 60 people. It's like even though they take 40 seconds. It's like I don't know how much time, 40, 50 seconds. Depends on the person. Somebody's elderly, you're not going to rush them. So it's like 1 hour you have to stand in line. Maybe other people also in line waiting to wash your hand. So when we go, hopefully we don't need to go, but when we need to go to the cemetery, so we always bring our water with us. Understand? If it's a big procession, so so to save ourselves time to wash with our own water. It's things are very simply predictable. You don't have to be big genius just to act properly. Okay. So any other questions? So actually the time is up, so we can go to, if you have any topic, go ahead. Okay. No problem. No questions? No problem. So we can stop here then. So to be continued tomorrow. Tomorrow we're almost finishing, or we're going to finish, or close to finish of Hilchas Teshuvah of Rambam. Right, so until tomorrow. Okay, you have a question. Go ahead. Somebody have a question. Yeah, go ahead, please. Okay, so what is it? So are you going to write? So write it, please. Can you drive? Okay, so I was able to read. So on the 9th of Av, yeah, you can drive if needed. So it's not like a holiday that is, even though it is, you're right, it is called a holiday in rabbinical literature, but it's not the holiday that we're not allowed to do any melachas, any works. So you can drive, but always when you drive, so that some people have a custom to go on a cemetery to visit their loved ones on 9th of Av, but usually it's very I always remember the 9th of Av, it's very, very hot day. And it's proper not to do anything, not to go anywhere, until after the Chatzos, until after the Jewish midday. Why? Because you have to sit down on a floor or on a lower chair and read kinos, read all of these sad things, remember the Beis Hamikdash, or watch lectures. Rabbi Reuven Shlita has very, very interesting lectures about destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. So we're not allowed to learn Torah, just so you know. But some subject we are allowed to read about the morning, about laws of the morning, about Beis Hamikdash and stuff like that, right? So, but but after, and it's not proper to work until after. So it's proper not to work at all on 9th of Av, not. But if person must work for whatever reason, so try to work only after the noon of Jewish noon, whatever is noon according in your area. So you have to determine. That's it. So, but you can drive your car, yes. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so then we stop here. Okay.